Hello there, this is René Molenaar for GNS3 Vault, and I want to show you how to solve the BGP attribute local preference lab. So we have a lot of routers, 4 autonomous systems, and we're going to set up some eBGP and iBGP so we can play a little bit with local preference. Okay, so first of all we have to set up iBGP within autonomous system number 1 and then set up eBGP between all the different autonomous systems that we have. Okay, so that's what I'm going to start with here. And what I'm going to do is use OSPF for connectivity within the autonomous system, just to make sure that all the loopbacks are reachable, and then I'm going to use them for iBGP. There we go. The only thing I want to do is use passive interface for the link between this router and the router in the other autonomous system. We don't want to send OSPF stuff to another autonomous system. So that should be it. Almost there. It's just a lot of typing that we have to do. And normally it's a better idea to use some copy pasting here or use some BGP pair groups to speed things up. But I'm almost there. There we go. This should be my iBGP. So let's set up eBGP between AS1 and 2. That's a typo. Okay. Now this should take care of my BGP configuration. And the next thing, I want to make sure that we have full connectivity. So we'll just advertise all networks from AS1, 2, 3 and 4 in BGP. For AS1 I'm just going to redistribute OSPF in BGP, and that's because it's the fastest way of getting all networks in AS1 into BGP. So I'm going to do it on both of these routers. Of course, you can also use the network commands. There we go, that's Jacobs. Those are all the networks on Pinto. There we go. Okay, so let's check if AS1 can reach all of the networks that we have. Let's just try to ping a couple of loopbacks. And it seems to be okay. And this one is working as well. Okay, so I think I'm fine on connectivity. So we'll play with local preference. That's the only attribute I'm going to use. And the first one is that configure router Franklin, so all networks have a local preference of 500. So what we have to do here is make sure that we change the preference. And let me think of a nice way of doing this. I think I'm just going to use the route map. Let's use a route map for this. Set it inbound. So everything we learned through BGP will have this local pref. And let's call it local pref. Permit 10. Set local preference to, what should it be? 500? Yeah. 500, here we go. Let's do a clear IP BGP. See if it's working or not. And this might take a little while. Here we go. So you can see that all the networks that I have learned through BGP, they now have a local preference of 500. So those are all the networks that I've learned through eBGP. Excellent. So that's the first task. Maybe I should have changed it so it says all networks that you learn through eBGP, because we don't care about the iBGP routes. Local preference, we use it to specify the exit point of our autonomous system. So by playing with local preference, we can configure AS1 so it will use router Franklin or Hunnisker to exit the autonomous system. Good. And you know what? I'm going to change it live, even while I'm recording this video. Doesn't matter, right? So let's change it. That's better. Alright, excellent. So you now just witnessed the live editing for a GNS3 Vault article. And we'll just continue with the next step. So configure router Hunnisker, so network 6660 as a local preference of 600. So I'm going to Hunnisker. And let's see, I've probably picked the wrong IP address. Okay, I forgot the neighbor command on this one. Let's create a route map, local pref. Permit 10, match IP address, access list number 1, and set the local preference to, I believe it was 600, right? 600, yep. That's excellent. Make sure you use another permit statement, otherwise everything will be denied. Let's just do a clear IP BGP. Okay, you can already see it. Over here, network 6660 has a local preference of 600. Excellent. So we got that one. That's good. What else am I going to do? Configure router Hunnisker so all networks from AS4 have a local preference of 700. And that's an interesting one. You can see it here in the BGP table. So I want to match on only the networks from AS4 and not the networks from AS2 or 3. So this is one, and there's another one over here. So we can use those if we like. And there are two ways of doing this. If you could use an access list or a prefix list and just match those networks. But let's say I want a solution that's also good for the future. In case somebody is adding networks on within Autonomous System 4. We could try to create something with the AS path or using a regular expression here. So let's see what we can create here. There we go. This would be a good expression. So regular expression created like this. The little up arrow, not sure what the symbol is called again. 4 and then the $sign will only match on networks that we have learned from AS4. So this is something I can use in a route map. So let's edit the route map that I already have. This one over here. So I'm going to match on an AS path, number 1, and then set the local preference to, what should it be, 700. There we go. Here we go. So that's how you create an AS path access list. Let's do a clear IP BGP. And we'll see if this is working or not. It's very good to understand the regular expressions for BGP. You won't find it on the CCNP route exam, but it's still very important to know. And if you want to play with regular expressions a bit more, you can look up my lab that I created for it. It's here on the website, so if you want some more practice, look it up. You can see that it's working, because this entry now has a local preference of 700, this one and this one as well. So that's looking good to me. One more task for router Hunnisker. Network 66 something should have a local preference of 800. Don't use an access list. Okay, so we can also use a prefix list. So we'll just create one more statement in our route map. Well, there are many things you could match on. You could also use a community. That's an interesting solution. I'm going to use the prefix list. And I'm going to call it AS3. Here we go. Create the prefix list like this. Let's do a clear BGP. And we'll have to be patient again. Okay, so I'm learning stuff here, but I don't see the local preference yet. So let's see if I messed up somehow. So match IP prefix list AS number 3, set local pref to 800. That should be okay. Oh wait, okay, so I made a stupid mistake. I got the wrong network here. That's my bad. I've been recording these videos all day long, so sometimes you get a little bit tired making stupid mistakes. There we go, that's better. That's what we are looking for. So that's the last task that we have. Okay, so I used the prefix list, and maybe useful to look at the BGP table for a moment. So if you look at a couple of examples, you can see for this entry we have set the local preference to 500 for network 5550. You can see that the exit path is next hop 35.5, that's AS2. And you can also see, what do we have here, 47, local preference 100. And such, there's only a single entry for this one. Okay, so now there is more in the table that we can look at. Here are a couple of good examples. So you can see that if you set the local preference, you can change the exit path for your autonomous system. And you can change it by using the route map, match on an access list, prefix list or an AS path, and then set the local preference. Good. That's the end of this lab. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and make sure you look at some of the other BGP labs that I have on GNS3vault.com. Thanks again, and till next time.